now, this will be, I must say, my favorite part of this session, because now we have the pleasure to count with two host families, two host moms of two of our au pairs. We're gonna go live again on YouTube, and I want to introduce you these two host moms. First, we have Lauren, which is Elena's host mom. Elena is an au pair from Italy. You can see them there. And we also have Amy, who is Steffi's host mom, Steph that you met earlier. And now I just want to introduce you to them. They have something in common. They both are first-time host families. And now I just want to ask them to please introduce themselves briefly. Where are you right now, and for how long have you been with your au pair?
Hi guys, I am Loren and this is Elena.
Hi.
I am a first-time house mom or host mom. And Elena has been with us for almost 2 years now, coming up in January.
1 year and 8 months.
In a couple days, but nobody's counting. But Elena fit right into our family from go. And I think that was a testament to our interview process. Mm-hmm. And we have a 4-year-old little boy named Cashton. He was pretty speech delayed, and he's not all the way caught up yet, but he is doing really, really well. And Elena has been a huge driving force behind that. We also have a 4-month-old, and his name is Jackson. So Elena has been very flexible in our family growing over 2 years.
When you think you see everything and then poof, show up and you don't lost kid.
Surprise! But yeah, so our family obviously grew by 1 and then by 2 with the new baby. So we have had a tremendous experience with cultural care thus far.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Lauren. And what about you, Amy? What can you tell us?
So I live outside of the Washington, D.C. area, and I have 4 children, a 6-year-old girl, a almost 4-year-old boy, and 2-year-old twins. So needless to say, we needed the extra set of hands, and we wanted to go with getting an au pair because we wanted just to have another member of the family. And we stumbled upon Steph, and it was we clicked immediately. She matched with us pretty quickly, and then we talked every day until she got here, which was delayed because of the pandemic, but now she's here, and seamless transition. She's been so wonderful. The kids took to her immediately. Her and I get along very well. It's been a really, really wonderful experience.
Thank you for sharing, Amy. That's great to hear too. And just to remind you, Amy is the host mom of Stephanie that we already met. Yes, and they're in Maryland. And I wanted to ask you, what made you choose to be an au pair? Why including someone as part of your family and not other option?
So for us, we all of our children are kind of on different schedules, and we didn't really like the idea of a traditional nanny kind of coming and going. We liked the idea of somebody living with us and being a part of the family and being that presence that we felt like it would allow the children to respond to them better, that they would listen better, they would feel more loved, that it would be almost having a cousin living with us. And it's exactly what we imagined it to be. So that's why we went with an au pair.
What about you, Lauren?
So for us, I do morning radio here in Charlotte. So I'm up very, very, very early. My day starts at 3:50 in the morning, and I leave the house by 4:30. So an au pair was really pretty much, I don't want to say the only option, because we had a longtime nanny before Elena got here for just Cashton. but that was before my husband was on the road for work. And now he travels outside of the pandemic. He is a regional vice president for a medical sales company. So he is traveling the whole East Coast on the regular. He's usually gone, 2-3 days a week?
Yeah.
Normally. And then obviously with my schedule, we needed somebody here who could be here in the mornings. We went through probably, I don't know, like 3 nannies within a month period, because people would start and be like, you know what, these hours just aren't for me, which I completely get. Morning is a really hard time to get out of your bed and get into somebody else's bed and wait for the kids to wake up. Where Elena,
I basically sleep. Like
Yeah.
if no one is at home and I have the monitor, I can just work and sleep for this
and wait for the kids to get up. So Elena knows she gets the kids up at 7, gets our son Cashin ready for school. And then, you know, her day starts from there. But for us, it was really imperative to not only have somebody in the house, but somebody that, like, Elena is like a big sister to our son Cashin. He loves her, like loves her. When she goes away for the weekends and she comes back, he's like attached at her hip. So he really took to the program really well, which was a blessing for us. But you know, kind of like Amy said, we wanted somebody to be part of our family. I'm from an Italian background. I took an Italian language class, which I probably failed out of, but we wanted our kids to have that culture, and Elena has brought that in every facet, from her holidays to her cooking, to, like, our son's favorite word is ciao. And you know, we vacation together, we do a lot of things as a family. So like I said, our family grew not just by 1 newborn, but by 2.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And I would like for a moment to take a step back and maybe start when you then decided to be a host family. And how was your process when screening and when looking for an au pair? What were you looking for when you were reading those profiles, when you were chatting, or before even chatting, when you were just seeing profiles?
What we were looking for, and I know I'm unique that I have 4 children, so there are a lot of people that didn't want to take on that responsibility because it is a lot. So we were looking for somebody that had a lot of experience working with children, whether that was in a school setting or a daycare, something where they had been in charge of multiple children for like a long period of time. Because it's a lot of work with 4 kids, and that was really important to us. We also looked for somebody that was proficient in English, just because, again, with the 4 of them, like, we needed somebody that could come in and quickly get on their feet and get going. We also wanted somebody that could drive, because obvious reasons, school pickups, and we have playgroup drop-offs, and in the summer we go to the pool. So we wanted somebody that could drive, and we also looked for somebody that had strong swimming skills, because we spend a lot of time at the summer at a lake or at the beach, and we needed somebody that was comfortable in that area. So that's kind of what we mainly screened for.
So for us, Amy, you said a lot of the same things that we looked for. So, you know, we liked all of those same aspects. So I'll talk a little bit about
the funny story.
Yeah, like our process, I guess, through searching for an au pair. When we were looking for somebody, you know, we were looking for all those qualities, but my husband and I both have really big personalities. So we knew that we wanted somebody with a big personality too, somebody who wasn't, you know, super shy, who would kind of hit the ground running. We like to joke around a lot. We do a lot of events. So when we were looking for our au pair, I was actually looking for videos because I thought the videos were very telling on somebody's personality. It's easy to read, you know, someone's story, but when you see how they interact on camera and, you know, a little bit about their life, I felt like I could see more into them. Because when you guys are looking for your host family, the first time you both get on, you're both nervous.
Mhm.
So it's not a great representation the very first time you speak to a host family or an au pair, because you're both feeling some type of way. And it's important to know that too. We're just as nervous as a host family as you guys are for an interview. And we're actually in the process, we don't want to lose Elena at all, but we're in the process because Elena leaves us in January. We're starting to interview au pairs. And I don't even call it like au pair interviews when I set up my Zoom calls. I call it a meet and greet because we don't want you guys to feel nervous when you're meeting us either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and fun fact, I didn't have the video.
Yeah, Elena didn't have a video. We actually matched because Cultural Care reads both bios, and they match us. Yeah, they
personality test, and so you get basically like they send you like the families that are more like
who they think you'll be a good match
for
with.
you.
Yes, and it's great that we were right
Yeah,
because
very
it's
right.
clear that you have a great relationship, and I'm sure that it will continue after Elena goes back to Italy. I love to hear from both of you that you were looking for different things, and that's something amazing from this program. There's as many families and as many types of families and as many types of au pairs, and that's why it's so important for you to try to show yourself as much as possible. And what Lauren was saying regarding the videos that show a little bit about your personality, I think that's a great time and a great shot for you to show how you are in order to meet your perfect family. And we have a question from yep.
Oh, sorry. Can I just add something to the video? Because I know now it's something that all au pairs do when they fill out their online application. But Elena and I did a takeover not too long ago, and people were asking about like, well, what do I put in my video? I like to, if you have Instagram or social media, think of it as like your real what you do on a day-to-day basis. So like if you would put it on your story, your host family probably wants to see that. That gives us a good insight to your real personality, your likes, how you are with your friends, that kind of thing.
You don't have to invent anything. It's
No.
just you.
Yeah, be yourself.
Exactly. That I love that. We have a question from YouTube, and it's how long did it take until you met the au pair and she arrived? Like, how long was the matching process, and when were your au pairs able to join your family?
So we matched with Steph. It took us about a month to find her, and we clicked immediately. And it's like when you are like meeting like a friend for the first time, or like going on a date, you just like click with someone. So we clicked immediately, and we therefore matched pretty quickly after we had our first meeting. And she was supposed to arrive in May, but then because of the coronavirus, all the borders were shut down, and it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And, we're like, at one point she's like, I'm just going to swim across the ocean to get there. Like, this is terrible. She ended up coming at the end of it was the end of summer. It was the end of August or beginning of September that she finally got here. So we knew her for like 9 months before she even came here, which was, I guess, really helpful in us getting to know her better. But we had a unique experience. I feel like that's not normal.
Yeah, but to make that relationship stronger from the beginning.
Yeah, it did.
Take advantage of the time. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Lots of video chats. She sent us a box. She's from the UK. And she sent us a box of like all of like her favorite things that we don't have in the United States. And my kids just, they went crazy for it. It was like a fun way to like keep in touch with her over that time.
Oh, that's so nice. I love British candies, so I would have loved receiving that box. I had another question that I think Lauren kind of answered already, but I want to know about you, Amy. Were you nervous at all when participating or starting this process, when interviewing?
I didn't get nervous until it was closer to like reality. That's when I started to get nervous, was when it was like, okay, you know, it's like, you're so excited. I mean, I was excited because we desperately needed the help. Like my kids they're like, there's so many of them. We needed help. So it was like, we were so eager to find the perfect au pair, which we did in Steph. But then like, as the reality gets closer, that like, oh my gosh, like this person's going to be living with us. Like, how is this going to change our lives? Like, are we like, you know, is this going to work out? Like, is she going to like her room? Is she going to like us? Is she going to like the kids? Like, that's when I got really, really nervous, was like the days leading up to it. But as soon as we met Steph, we took her out for lunch, and it was like my oldest daughter came with us, and it was like we've known her forever. So the nerves dissipated pretty much immediately after that.
Oh, that's great to hear. And I'm sure that that time apart that you were still building your relationship really added and
Oh, absolutely.
made that easily. Yes. And you were mentioning the room. And do you have, I don't know, did you make something different for your au pair to make them feel welcome in their rooms? How was another question that we received from YouTube is, how was the encounter with the host kids for the first time?
For us, we kind of left her, we made sure her room was clean and that she had, you know, the necessities. We got her like new bathroom towels and toiletries, like that sort of thing. But we kind of left it as a blank slate so that she could put her own mark on it, which was what Steph and I had discussed. So I think that that's going to be unique to the host family and the au pair. When she first met the kids, again, I was very nervous, but she walked in and the kids, like, they all just kind of went to her, and kind of like what Lauren was saying, they're like attached to her. Like sometimes when they're crying now and I'm in the room, they go to Steph instead of me, which kind of hurts my feelings, but this like shows their bond they have with her, that like, you know, that they adore her, they love her.
And Lauren, do you have anything that you can share with us regarding that?
Yeah, I think, do you want to start with kind of how long it took us?
There's two questions now, okay? So the time actually for me is different than from you, because I remember that you were looking before me. But I mean, I think in September, my application went online, and then I found you in October, I think. And then we got kind of like a month, because we matched at the beginning of November.
We connected, yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, you're right. We matched in November.
And then my date was 14 January. Yeah. So from between November and January.
Yeah. So for us as a host family, we were a little nervous to pull the trigger on actually going through with the process. It actually, like, I guess one of our friends mentioned it to us, and they had never had an au pair before. It kind of started as a joke, and we were like, oh, it's actually a really good option. So when we started looking for an au pair, we were looking months in advance. We had interviewed Elena, and just like Amy said, clicked immediately. Like, we, in our heart of hearts, knew that Elena was our girl. It was just committing to the program, because just like you guys, au pairs that are watching, we were nervous as a host family, because you don't know how it's going to go. You have someone living in your house for the first time, taking care of your children. You never meet face to face until you arrive. So these were all things that you guys should know that host families are feeling too. So it should put you at ease.
Yeah. But there's something that clicked, because I remember that, I mean, I loved them from the beginning, but I still looking for other families, because I mean, you don't know if it's the same in both sides. And it's also nice to maybe figure out some other questions talking on Skype with other different families. Also, if your mind maybe is still in someone, but you open your mind to understand different lives, like question that maybe show up with one family and never show up with another family, and your English get better and better with Skype calls. And then I remember that I went on vacation because I had my vacation. I was like, oh my God, I hope to match before going on vacation. So I'm going to have to party and everything. And then it's like, hey, you're going to wait till you come back from your vacation. I was like, hey, if they're not going to choose me, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like,
and Elena was actually speaking to another family while we were interviewing her as well. And we were just very open about the process.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, we're not currently talking to anybody else right now, but we want to know what your process is. And I think she was talking to a family in DC.
No, in Boston.
In Boston.
But they were Italian.
They were Italian speaking. So how
Obviously.
easy would it have
Yeah.
been for Elena to go to an Italian family in Boston and speak her native language?
Yeah.
But Elena knew that she wanted this experience
myself.
to challenge herself.
Yeah. And again, I mean, a Skype call in Italian, in 2 Skype calls, you close everything. Maybe in English, you need to figure out a little bit more and you need 6 Skype calls with the family before you actually understand.
But I think that is really important that as an au pair going into the program, you are very honest with yourself because Elena wanted that challenge. You may not. You may just want to come and experience life in the United States and know that it's safe for you to speak the native language of your host family.
And it's not right or wrong. It's just you. You need to understand what you want, and the same for the family, what they want, and there's more chance you're going to find the right match because you're honest.
Yeah, I think finding the right match is imperative because you're honest. Otherwise, you're going to get there. You may feel uncomfortable. The family may feel uncomfortable.
You're gonna be stuck together, and then it's like,
you
just need to say the right thing at the right moment when it was the time.
Don't give the PC answer. Give your real answers.
I completely wholeheartedly agree. I have numerous friends that have au pairs. Obviously, we have Steph. You hear the stories from our family friends that like the au pair said they could drive, and then the au pair comes and they can't drive, and that's a pretty significant issue if you need somebody that can drive well. So you need to be honest, and you will find your host family. You will like click and match, but you need to be 100% honest and upfront because it's not going to get you up on the right foot if you come over and you've kind of sold yourself as being one thing, and that's not who you really are.
And Amy, I think you'll agree with this. But I don't think those are deal breakers either. Like if Elena would have told us like, hey, I'm not really comfortable driving. Like when Elena got here, we got her driving lessons to make sure that she felt comfortable driving the kids around.
Right.
So when you're honest, it's not a deal breaker.
There are families where driving isn't as imperative as it was for us. They live in a city. They walk most of the time. They don't even have a car. Like you don't have to drive then, right? But like where we lived, that was important to us. And for this one family, it was important to them. So again, I think it goes back to like, you will find your match. You just need to be like patient and honest and find the people that you're going to fit in with. Yeah.
Yep. Completely agree. And we just received that comment from YouTube that says you are all lovely and kind families, and I couldn't agree more. And I would love to hear about how is your relationship with your au pair? How would you describe it?
I told her she's never allowed to leave. she's gonna stay with us forever.
I mean, with everything that's going on, we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe we can stay.
I've already I'm like, Steph, I hope your mom's okay with this, that like you're stuck with us. I adore her. You know, in the evenings, when the kids are kind of settled down, like I cook dinner and she'll just come in and like the two of us will just like talk in the kitchen and we'll like have like a playful chat and like we're bantering and laughing, and it's fun. Like she's fun to talk to. She's witty. She's got a great sense of humor, and you know, it's part of like why we picked her was because we loved her personality so much. So she's kind of like, I don't really feel like a mom to her. I feel like I don't want to say sister, but like I feel like a friendship, like an aunt. Like she's I'm the cool aunt and she's the fun niece sort of relationship that we have. I think she thinks I'm cool.
I'm sure she does.
So she has to say that now.
For you, Lauren.
I think our relationship is pretty similar to Amy's. I don't, although I joke sometimes that I call everyone the kids. I feel like I call everyone the kids.
Yeah, but basically.
But I feel like Elena, I feel like a big sister to Elena, and we have a lot in common. When we were going through the match process, even after we did match, Elena and I kept in touch a lot through Instagram and WhatsApp. And we asked a lot of personality driven questions, silly questions. What's your favorite color? Are there any foods you absolutely hate? What are your favorite foods? And through that process, just one of the little things that I picked up on is that Elena's favorite color was antique pink. And the room that we had for Elena when she was coming to our house here in Charlotte was very blue. So I went out and got antique pink pillows to pink it up a little bit and make her feel more at home. But we have bonded. We both love to entertain. We love to party plan. I blog on the side for
which Dallas, his husband,
my husband,
not really happy about it because we bond too much. I'm like,
yeah,
we do all this stuff.
Sometimes he feels like he's being ganged up on. But I do a fashion and lifestyle blog, and Elena loves all of that too. I've helped Elena start a blog of her own, a fashion or a travel blog. And, when the kids have birthday parties, Elena is like my right-hand girl. She loves to help me plan those things.
And everything.
Yeah. So I think we've really bonded over, similar personalities. Like Amy was saying, dinners and making dinners are just fun. We stand around the kitchen and cook and maybe have a glass of wine and talk about our day. And it's always fun for us.
And my husband is not here, but I have a really great relationship also with him because it's not what I said every time, that maybe girls are a little scared about the husband and everything. I mean, me and Dallas have a really great and amazing relationship anyway, and I love him. So he's not here today, but
he's on the road. But yeah, Dallas makes it a point too to take Elena to breakfast when Cash is in school on a normal basis.
Yeah, we do stuff as I do stuff just with her, I do stuff just with him, and I spend the same time with everybody, and there's not
there's a bond with everyone individually and then everybody as a family too, which is really nice.
That's great. And I have just 2 more questions that I want to be able to squeeze in this little time that we have left. One we received from the service before, and it's why choosing an au pair from the other side of the world? Was that something that you took into consideration or just happened because of the personality match?
Well, I think for us, we kind of were honing in on Italy because, again, at that time I was taking an Italian language class, and Dallas and I had spent the last, I think, 4 out of the 5 summers in Italy. So we loved that culture, and we really wanted to introduce that to our children. And, with our next au pair, maybe they're not from Italy. We've kind of, broadened the horizon too, because we just want our kids to feel that worldly culture and have those experiences and, maybe learn a few words in a bunch of different languages, or become fluent in something, or, love Mexican food or Italian food or holidays. I just think that there's a lot outside of the United States that we personally wanted our kids to experience. So that was why it was really important to us.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. We kind of honed in on the UK. I don't really know why. I don't know. We just did. Maybe it was because of the language barrier. We didn't feel like it would be there. It was also that I liked the culturally. I just wanted my children to be exposed, like Lauren was just saying, that I just was interested in it, and her way of life and holidays and food that she can cook and things that we just don't have in the United States. So We were open to other countries as well, but that was just kind of what we gravitated towards this time.
Great. And as a recap, or just one last recommendation that you could tell to future au pairs that are listening?
Be patient. Don't, and again, like echoing, I cannot reiterate this enough, do not, be completely honest, be yourself. Really think about why you want to be an au pair and like what your limitations are and what your expectations might be, and communicate as much as you can. And you'll find the right match, and hopefully it'll be as positive of an experience that we've had with Steph.
I'll let Elena speak on this too, but just exactly what Amy said. In addition to that, I think being flexible and open communication are the two biggest things that you can do once you are living with your host family, and really almost reading the room, if that makes sense. So we talked about this on our takeover as well. But if you notice that your host dad, and this, I'm using my family as an example, my husband cannot stand if somebody puts the dishes in the dishwasher without rinsing them off. Like, it is a joke in our household because I'm terrible at it. But if you notice that that's a thing, try to pick up on those little things, because that could really make or break your relationship. It sounds silly, but if those little annoyances start getting to people, then that's where a lot of issues come from. And I think the second thing is just being open and honest in communication.
Yeah, communication a lot. I mean, I remember at the beginning, we're just nice talk with everything. I mean, was your first time, was my first time. So we actually get through some stuff. We cashed in together because we were like, in my opinion, can work in this way, because I noticed that with me work. So if I just throw it there and be honest, like,
you're learning together. And Elena was very flexible with our family, which was great. Because we were going through a lot of changes. We tried to put Cash in school and it didn't quite work out. So then we pulled him back out. So her schedule changed a little bit there. But even, if you feel like, you want a certain snack from the store that is never in the pantry, the little things that can make your life easier, just communicate those. Or if you feel like, hey, you said you'd be home at 5, you're home at 5:30, my hours are going a little bit over. It's really important to talk those things out before they become this big thing that is you can't pull it back.
Yeah. Okay. And be honest.
Thank you, all of you, for those great recommendations, for sharing your experience. I think this is great to hear that host families are also having this nervous moment. This is also a first for each one of them, and that every family is different, as every au pair is different. So the best advice is to be yourself, be engaged, show yourself, and the host family will be there for you too. We will make sure that happens. We will help you throughout the process. In the local offices, we will always be trying to help you and guide you, make the right choices and the best choices for you. So thank you so much, Amy, Lauren, and Elena, for joining us today. And for everyone listening, just allow yourself to be vulnerable, open, adventurous, and get ready, because the best experience of your life is about to start. So really, just make up your mind, because this is, as you can see, an amazing experience. For everyone who is listening to us in YouTube, we will also leave our social media in the description below, so you can also follow other au pair experiences that are currently in the US. You can also ask questions over there. But I just want to thank you all, and for everyone listening in YouTube, this will be it. You can always contact us. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Lauren, and
Thank you.
and Elena.